Hello everyone, this is Gruesome Herzog.
And Little Girl.
Our special guest is a dear friend of mine, director Armin Nasseri. He's done films Seeking Valentina and the most recent one, The Carding Call. We are here at the Fantastic Horror Film Festival. This is the end of the 3-day weekend. Armin, how are you?
Oh, I'm great, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem. I've known you for probably 3 to 4 years. I met you for the first time 2 years ago, and then that's 3 years. You actually shot our award ceremony 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, excuse me, and I've got to know you. You are very unique, I must say. You got that dry humor. It's probably not on purpose, but you are very talented with the camera. I was really impressed in how you shot the award ceremony 3 years ago. I keep saying 3 years ago. And you are a very talented filmmaker. I mean, Seeking Valentina, I seen. It was a couple years later. I wasn't here when it was in the festival. And then The Carding Call, I apologize, I missed it. I will definitely check it out when I get home back east. Tell us a little about yourself, Armin.
Oh, man, I'm very humbled, man. Thanks for the compliment.
Yep.
I just spent years like honing my craft, man. Going to school, paying my dues, really learning from others, and surrounding myself around people who are better than me. Because when they're better than me, that makes me want to be better.
Exactly. And how many awards did you guys win tonight?
We were honored to be nominated for 9 awards.
Nice.
And we were nominated for Best Short Film, Best Thriller Short, Best Actor in a Short Film, Best Actress in a Short Film, 2 Best Supporting Actresses. Yep. And Best Ensemble Cast, and just like lost. And we took home best ensemble cast and best supporting and best supporting actress for Sherry Davis.
Sherry Davis, I love Sherry Davis, and Kristen West couldn't make it this weekend. She's at another festival.
So shout out to Kristen West.
Yep, she's awesome. I know Kristen for many, many years, and she has a great show herself. I love San Diego. The festival was a cool experience for anybody who likes to watch horror films. This festival grew. It's getting better each year, and I just think it's remarkable to have you come up here. Anybody who is a horror fan, it's like a family. It really is. Jason's first time here, Little Gru.
I owe all my gratitude to Fantastic Horror Film Festival. I mean, that's the first award I've ever received, and it brought me into that horror film family. Right.
Seeking Valentina, you're talking about. Yeah.
I never expected it because, after I graduated high school, man, I was around so many great talents, man. I've never seen people so good, acting and editing and graphic design.
Now you're one of them.
I'm just glad to call these people my contemporaries.
Yep.
It was just an unexpected journey because I never expected to win Best Director in a short film, and it just never came into my mind. Right. I just wanted to, because I started off acting. I went to acting school, and then after the program, I went back to school and took film courses.
Oh wow!
And I wanted to also learn, behind the camera, because there's so many like filmmakers who act both in front of the camera and behind the camera. And I felt, well, if they can do it, I can do it.
Right.
And it was the best place, to find your voice. I made a short film, about a suicidal guy and a human trafficking victim.
Oh, wow.
Falling in love in the jungles of Los Angeles, and they both have the language barrier.
Right.
And it was well received. It was the first film. Actually, they made me realize my ability to make a movie.
Right.
And I spent 5 years working every position you can think of. I did crafts and services, I did boom operator, I did second AD, I did camera camera operator, editor, art department.
Wow.
Production assistant. Because I did that intentionally to make myself more well-rounded.
Yeah, exactly.
And then all of a sudden, I was in my late 20s, and I got home, and I started thinking about my dad, who was a landlord, and and just going to houses with him, through, as a kid, and when he was doing maintenance work and picking up the rent. And I just started thinking about the mind of a tenant. What would happen to the person who was a source for income disappeared without a trace. And this idea came about a widower and a son living in a remote area. And then the original title was Seeking Tenant.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And then I really want this. I wanted the female that gets lost to affect this guy emotionally, mentally. And I had this dream that what if this woman disappeared is like eerily similar to his wife. And that was just the intention was to make this film and show how much I learned over the course of those 5 years, and it was just to get my feet wet.
Right.
And then Fantastic Horror Film Festival came into picture, and all of a sudden we received 14 nominations and I took home like 5 awards.
Wow.
And I didn't even expect it. I didn't even expect it to be a psychological thriller. It was originally supposed to be a father-son, drama about grief, and it just manifested.
That's amazing.
To a psychological thriller, and I'm just so happy that it went fantastic, and it opened that door, and so many opportunities came after that year, and it's just been years of just pushing your limits and growing. Yeah,
it's all about growing and learning. There's a film that played here that won Best of the Fest, Our Friend John. These 4, they all had a handicap, and they want to make a film. And it's such an inspirational film, anything is possible. That's my family. That's what we went through. And it hits home, and when it hits home, what happens? It gets nominations.
I told the director, Edward Payson, one-on-one, that your brother and his buddy's first film was better than my first student film, and that's and their whole focus was to make a movie behind the camera.
Yep.
For me, it was exploring the other side of my brain, because my focus was acting. I was focusing on one side of my brain wave.
Right.
Where you are always processing your thoughts emotionally. And worrying about what you look like,
right.
Remembering your lines, and finding that place from life experience,
right,
and recreating it, on camera.
Yep.
It's a lot of preparation and getting to your character.
Yep.
And there's a process to it, and this is the first time where I had to work on the other side of my brain, of processing my thoughts logically.
Right.
And not just looking at the acting. I have to pay attention to taking your resources and utilizing it.
Yep. But you have I say you're young because you're younger than me, but you have a talent, and I've seen your work. We're going to check out Carding Call. Can you talk to listeners what Carding Call is about, in case they haven't seen it?
So the Carding Call is about a female food carrier named Robin, who's trying to make ends meet and get her rent paid, and she's working after hours shift doing food delivery in the L.A. area.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes from fighting to make ends meet to fighting for her life.
Oh, wow.
And she encounters all these different characters,
Awesome.
About how, especially if you're a woman, your safety can be compromised.
Yep.
You got to do it for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I've seen people who get in the film industry for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
They use it to try to get girls. They try to have power over somebody. And the reason why I chose this profession was just that desire since I was a child.
Yep.
And as I got older and I studied film, the way movies such as The Graduate, Persona,
Yep.
Taxi Driver affected me, I want other people to feel that way.
Yeah.
By making movies, hopefully that will impact them. That's my legacy.
And you have a good legacy.
But just know that Fantastic will always have a special place in my heart.
Yep.
It's kind of hard to forget that first recognition.
To be able to stand up there and get your name called, and you have the plaque or whatever, and you're thinking, "Damn, this is great."
Without Fantastic, I wouldn't picked up any steam. I just never know what's going to happen. you don't know what story is going to come to you, speak to you.
Yep.
You don't know what part of the genre or part of the story you're going to explore.
All right, Armin, thanks a lot for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.